Well, for all the victories that have happened in this year's Eurovision National Selection season that have left certain fans disappointed, this one is bound to make lots of people happy. Finland has selected Käärijä, which is a name I'm gonna have a lot of fun saying, with the song Cha Cha Cha, a real mishmash of genres that can't be neatly categorized into any one. It's a little bit metal, a little bit rap, a little bit electronic, and it's all about breaking out of your shell and allowing your inner self to be free, even if it means dancing like an idiot. As one of the most talked about songs in the entire Eurovision National Selection season, the expectations were super high, as you can imagine. The question was, were the Finnish public going to get behind this song quite as much as the international fans were, especially considering that in UMK, there were a number of artists who had pretty big followings already. Turns out that they did back the song. They really, really did.
539 pistettä.
There was also lots of curiosity about how this was going to go live, if it was going to sound as good as the studio cut sounded, and if they were going to borrow aesthetics from the music video and how well it would translate onto the stage. Well, from an energy point of view, this was everything that it needed to be. It had that chaotic feel to it, but it still had a nice flow, it felt controlled, and it developed from start to finish. It began with him as the focus inside the shell that he wants to break free from as he sings in the song. Then they brought in the overly animated dancers with all the teeth in the world. I can't quite decide if they're supposed to just represent his desire to dance, or if they're supposed to be like a personification of pina coladas. And then of course he dances like a fool because he's broken free, he's feeling himself, and he's the star of his own show. Now, as much as it was great fun, and I think that's what a lot of people were really feeling, I do think that there's certain aspects of the aesthetics that could be cleaned up for Eurovision. One thing I really like about how UMK does their lyric videos is how much attention is given to the color palette and how it plays into the visual identity of each song. In this case, I would say that was mostly brought to the stage, but one thing that really caught my attention was the unpainted wood of the structure around Käärijä. And I think that if they're gonna take this setup to Eurovision, they should really rethink that part of it. It could be as simple as painting the wood or just finding a different material so that it blends in with everything else better. The other thing would be to just go bigger with the lighting setup. And I mean, I think we're gonna see that at Eurovision anyway, because it's such a larger technical setup. But if they were able to do something at the level of Måneskin or Blind Channel, or even like We Are Domi from Czech Republic last year, I think that could really fit this very nicely and it could become an arena experience. But as far as everything else goes, I don't think there's anything that needs to change. It clearly works. There is the possibility that they would invite a different director for Eurovision and kind of retool the idea entirely, and that might be a good idea if this performance gains a lot of traction and goes viral. But ultimately, I think that the ingredients are there for something that's impactful. So now that this song is going to Eurovision, the hype doesn't stop here. If anything, it just gets bigger. So let's talk about how well this could do. Firstly, this is a clear contender for winning the televote, or at least doing fairly well. Many casual viewers will buy into this simply because of the wackiness. They'll see it and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is Eurovision, and that'll be enough. But beyond that, I think that another aspect that will really reach people is the way that Käärijä embraces being an outsider. Everything that he does sets him apart from everyone else in the style of his music, in his presentation, and you can tell that he just fully embraces himself. Therefore, with this potential, I think that this should be considered a possible winner of Eurovision 2023, considering the songs that we have at this moment. Now, the first argument against that would be, what about the juries? They don't like outside-the-box entries. How could this possibly do well? It's a valid point, but it's also like the most tepid take that you could make about a song that isn't like a well-crafted pop song or a really impactful ballad. It's also a bit of an exaggeration to say that juries don't appreciate outside-the-box entries at all. They do, they just struggle a little bit, they tend to be more divisive. And so yes, it is possible that the juries would hurt this enough so that it would fall out of contention for the win. But considering that our last two winners finished fourth with the juries, I don't think it's that unreasonable to think that this would at least be possible. Also, if you saw my first video about UMK, you might remember that I said that I would consider this song to be Finland's most competitive entry ever. And I stand by that because apart from their win in 2006, Finland has never been in the top 5. They've also only finished in the top 10 once since 1989, so for there to be winner buzz about Finland is huge. Of course, before we get carried away, we do have to consider that we're talking about the songs that we have so far, and we're only a little bit beyond the halfway point. Things change quickly, and things will change soon, because this is not the only song in the national selections that has had winner buzz. And depending on how things go in Finland's neighboring country, we might be having a very different discussion in about 2 weeks. On that note, as we're approaching the home stretch for national selections, I would love to keep talking to you about our future entries, and the best way to do that would be to subscribe to the channel. I love interacting with you guys, I love reading your comments, and I should take this opportunity to speak to the Finnish fans. Thank you so much for watching and sharing the UMK video. A lot of you were very giving with your comments and feedback, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm also just really excited for you this year. It feels good to be supporting Finland. And for anyone else, be sure to let me know in the comments what you think of Cha Cha Cha. Do you think that this could be within reach of a win or secure a good result for Finland? I want to know. Let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video with a better voice than I have right now. Take care.